All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. And let me share my screen with you all. All right. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to start tonight's meeting out with our Pledge of Allegiance. Eric, will you please lead us in flag salute?
Huh?
Will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Okay. Right hand over heart. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Eric. Okay. Back to our agenda. All right, Anna, can you please do our roll call for us?
Yes. Josh Eisenberger,
Present.
Chris Colcord,
Yep.
Eric Kitchener,
Yep.
Mark Kincaid,
Which is the choice of the.
Tom Sellers,
Here.
Louis Sandoval,
Present.
Brian Atkinson,
Here.
Elena Morataya,
Here.
Jamie Renaud,
Here.
Amy Gonzalez, Anna Hernandez. Here.
All right, thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to go over our minutes for last month's meeting. Sorry, I'll try not to make it too tiny, Jamie. I know that's no fun. There you go. All right, and I will scroll down in just a sec here.
While we can hear the headphone.
Give everybody a chance to read the minutes.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I actually reached out to the.
Right, I'm gonna scroll down for everybody.
I move that we accept the minutes. Wait, I am in.
All first.
All right, so we've got a motion to accept the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jamie, you second?
Brian second. I made the motion.
Okay, thank you. So Jamie, motion to accept the minutes. All right, all those in favor?
Raise your hand.
No, I have a poll that we're all gonna.
Do you accept the March minutes as written? Yes.
All right, I'll give everybody a couple more seconds to vote on our minutes.
Wow.
All right, motion passes. The minutes are accepted. All right, moving on. All right, we will go to our Personnel Commission meeting. The Personnel Commission meeting was last Tuesday. We went over some of the short-term goals for reopening and what that looks like for fourth quarter. We went over our budgets classified. We went over the eligibility lists and the testing dates for upcoming examinations available for promotions and for other positions that are going to be available in the district. School board meetings. Our last school board meeting, the Antioch Charter Academy 1 and 2, both gave their presentation on how their schools are doing and working with our district. We also had the approval of opening our learning centers at our elementary and our secondary sites for fourth quarter. And we went over some budget items that were ratified as well. Sunshine and Hospitality Committee. Anna?
I sent a card to Danny Easterday. He was not doing well, so I sent him a get well card.
All right, thank you, Anna. And if anyone hears of anybody that has losses in their family or someone that's been ill, please let us know. We do like to reach out and see how people are doing and reach out to people going through tough times. Our negotiations committee, which is part of the reason we're here today. We are, in order to be up to date with our contract, we are going to have our tentative agreement items that we will be going forward with for completion of our last year's contract. And then we will be reopening immediately following this next month so that we can continue to go over some of the items that were on our surveys. But we do want to have a nice up-to-date contract, and we do want to be able to ratify if our increase in benefits and salary is approved. Constitution and Bylaws Committee. I'll be going over that a little bit later, but one of the things that we will need to do is have a special meeting so that we can hold a vote, because we do have 4 open positions for conference this summer. Because it is a virtual conference, we're going to be able to send our 9 members, and that's based on the number of members we have in our district. And only 5 of our executive board are going to be attending this conference. And our normal our policy in our Antioch Constitution and Bylaws is that you have to have 6 meetings attended. And so we will be bringing up at our special meeting that we'd like to lower that number just so that people have an opportunity to go and attend virtually our conference this summer, since we do have the ability to have more people than normal attend conference. All right, Union Steward Committee. Tom, do you have anything for us?
I do not.
All right, thank you. And Site Representatives Committee.
Am I muted? No. Okay, I would like for all the site reps to email me about where they're at and if they're still willing to do it. I know it's kind of late in the year, but I need to get names and sites and everything else about that, because I don't have a complete list.
So we can get ahead of the game for next year. And
Right.
that you wanted to put together site rep training as well.
Yes, and I have the booklets to give them, so I can send that to their site.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, sorry.
No, thank you, Judy. All right, so nominations, new business. Nominations for conference. All right, so this is going to be a bit interesting, and I think what we're going to do is, and I will send an email out to everyone as soon as our meeting is over tonight, with the information on our tentative agreements, as well as where to send your votes, as well as a spot for nominations. tonight, if anyone has any nominations for conference, please go ahead and type that into the chat. If there are any nominations, you can always nominate yourself as well. Tonight won't be the only time that we can nominate for it. We'll definitely be leaving it open for quite a while, but we do want to be able to hold that vote next month so we can get our delegates all signed up. Brian? I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Brian.
Nope.
Brian, you're muted.
Now he's muted, but he still can't hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. So my question would be is, so for the 5 or 6, I didn't hear the exact number. For the ones that are already good to go, should we nominate now, or is that not? We're good. Are we already in?
It's based.
Like, should I nominate?
No, the executive board. The executive board members that generally attend conference, those executive board members that are going to conference this year have let me know. That is Louis, Brian, Jamie, Mark, and Elena. If I missed anybody, please let me know. And then our 4 extra positions, those will be from our members that are going to be nominated. And our eligibility requirements are generally, you have to have attended 6 union meetings or trainings. However, this year, what we're going to ask during our special meeting is that we waive those requirements, right, because there's no way that our members have, just with Zoom and everything and attending meetings, it's really hard for everyone to join. And I would like to give a lot those 4 people that normally wouldn't get to attend conference, which will be virtual this year, that opportunity to join our 5 executive board members that are going. So
right. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to nominate and put our names out there right now, or we're just good to go. The e-board's good to go, so we don't have to do anything like that.
Yes, the 5 executive board members that are going will be, or attending virtually, will be Louis,
Perfect.
Brian, Jamie, Mark, and
Got
Elena. And so I have a question. What are the requirements to be eligible for conference? So the requirement would be, yes, you have to be a member in good standing. And I'm going to ask that we amend our constitution and bylaws this year specifically to only have attended 2 meetings or trainings instead of the 6.
Okay.
That way more people are eligible to go.
You were thinking something.
All right. Now the reason everyone is here, I'm sorry, if there are no nominations right now in chat, that's fine. Like I said, I will open that up and you will email at communications.csea85 at, I believe, Gmail. I will get you, actually, let me look that up right now. I apologize. It is, one moment. It is communications.csea85@gmail.com. And I will put that out in the email after our meeting is over tonight as well. All right, so our tentative agreements between CSEA, and AUSD for salary and benefits. Let me share and read. All right, so our first tentative agreement is, apologize, Antioch Unified School District and California School Employees Association, Article 10, Health and Welfare Benefits. 10.1, Employee and Dependent Insurance Coverage. Effective January 1st, 2021, the district shall pay the annual cost with a 3-tier structure as follows. And this is based on a 12-month employee. Single, $12,096. 2-party, $17,640. Family, $21,180. The remainder of Article 10 shall remain status quo. And what this means for those that are 12-month employees and then prorated based off of that is you will see an increase in what the district pays for your cap, which means more money from the district to us. For a single party, it's $25 a month. For a 2-party, it's $55 a month. And for family, it's $65 a month. And that is our health and welfare portion. And our tentative agreement with our benefits, I'm sorry, our salary portion, trying to make that up so everyone can see it a little bit better. All right. Tentative agreement, Antioch Unified School District and California School Employees Association. Article 8, pay and allowances, 8.1.2, effective July 1st, 2020. All salary schedules and professional growth stipends in the collective bargaining agreement shall be increased by 3%. And what this means is that we would see a 3% retro for all hours that you've worked, all pay received, all the way back to July 1st of 2020, if our tentative agreement is approved by our members. And once it is approved by our members, then it would go before the school board on the meeting that is on the 28th of this month. And then once the school board approves, if our members pass this, then it will be most likely we will see the 3% at the end of increase to our salary at the end of next month's pay period. But we would probably not see our retro checks for a couple months. It takes a while for everybody to get everything going. Benefits has to work with the county, and it usually takes a little bit more than a month. But we should see that increase in our salaries next month, that if it's approved by our members and if it's approved by our school board. That is it for our tentative agreements. I will send, once again, an email out as soon as our meeting is over. Voting, the way it will work is you will say yes or no to the email address that I will send out, which is communications.csea85@gmail.com. We will have 5 consecutive days with which to vote. So you don't worry if you don't get it in right away. You do have 5 days with which to vote on our tentative agreements. Right. Unfinished business, we have none. I'm sorry, good of the order. We do have some speaker card comments. Will classified employees be paid stipend or hazard pay bonus for returning? Unfortunately, we're working with the district. No, we will not see any hazard pay or bonus for returning. Is it possible? And I'm going to explain some rumors that have been going on in just a minute. I just want to finish reading these. Is it possible to get a copy of the agreement prior to the meeting? The MOU was sent out first thing Monday morning, and we're working with people. I know there are a lot of questions, and unfortunately, with as many members we have here tonight, answering every single individual question is really tough. I know I've had Tom helping me, and I've been trying to answer as many emails as I can. If I haven't gotten back to you, or Tom hasn't gotten back to you, or Eric, or any of the executive board, we really apologize, and we're doing our best to get to you right away. Please email us tonight, and I'll try and get back to as many of you as possible. The main thing is safety, but I'll continue talking about that in just a minute. I just would like to finish these comments. What speech language pathologist assistants have to come in person when the students that are all online? Unfortunately, because we are essential workers, all of our employees have been called back to working at the sites, and there's not anything that we're able to do to say, we're going to work from home. So we are required to come back onto our campuses. I believe that our union should be fighting to get hazard pay for the classified employees as the teachers union did for them. We are just as important. And I absolutely agree, and I'll explain in just a moment. As we are classified employees, specifically IA special needs or IA special education, getting a stipend like the SDC teachers that are having to return to campus for learning centers. If not, a hazard pay bonus should be discussed, because we're officially working under the pandemic and risking our lives every time we step out of our homes. Despite the state low cases of COVID-19 and effort to vaccinate, there's no guarantee that we are completely safe. So I would like to first dispel some of the rumors that teachers are returning with hazard pay. The extra pay that they are receiving is because SDC, SH, SN teachers are receiving pay for their prep period. They're working extra. They are working from distance in the mornings, and they're coming in to work at the sites in classrooms in the afternoon, and they're losing their prep period, which is the pay that they're getting. They're not getting hazard pay. They're getting paid because they're doing extra work. And unfortunately, there is no hazard pay that we will receive. Although we are receiving a 3%, if it is approved, we will be receiving the 3% increase to our wages, and that's a year's worth of retroactive, as well as the retroactive pay to January 1st, 2021 from the health and welfare increase that they are giving us. Another thing that I definitely would like to comment on is safety, and I know there's been a lot of concern with us trying to keep people safe. There have been many safety measures that we're implementing, and we're continuing to find things that haven't been completed. And we're working with everyone to make sure that you are receiving your PPE in your classrooms. If you're in a learning hub or a learning center, gloves, masks, disinfectant spray bottles. We're making sure that all the desks have the shields, making sure that we have all of our HVAC filters have been changed to MERV 13 filters. Those are the very high efficiency, fine particulate filters, and those run constantly. There's not any time that won't be running. We have every single school site has a single entry point where there's thermal scanner, and it makes sure it's testing people for fevers. If anyone has above a 100.4 fever, they are then put in a triage area, and their parents are called if it's a student, and they're sent home. If it's a staff member, then they're asked to go home. And so we have many safety measures in place. If there are questions, or someone feels that they haven't received their PPE, anything that has not been put in your classroom, that you are working with students in these learning centers and learning hubs, please email me, and I will get back to you, or I will forward it to one of my executive board members who are all really working their butts off to make sure that we're doing our best. I know it's a tough time for everyone in this, but it is something that unfortunately we're being required to do. And I want you all to know I appreciate all of your hard work. I really do. I can't thank everybody enough. We have so many classifications that do so many different things that you guys have been killing it, whether virtually at home or in person. It's just been amazing to see Classified be a huge team of people that somehow managed to educate and provide for our children during an unprecedented time. So I really do thank you all. I know that may not always be exactly what you want to hear. Thank you, but I do. I appreciate you guys. And please don't hesitate to email me with your concerns, with your problems. I will do my best. I can't guarantee that I can make life perfect or make everybody 100% happy. There's no possibility that I can do that for everyone, but I'm going to do my best, and my executive board is going to do their best to make sure that you guys are being protected, your site is safe, and that we're going to be able to move forward with our learning centers and learning hubs in a manner that will keep you all in good health. Can you please address the decisions made about childcare with our own students not returning to school? Unfortunately, we do not have childcare available. If your children are AUSD students, you may, and you filled out the survey that was sent out, and elected to keep your students at home, you may still, I believe, speak with your administrator and talk to them about adding your students to one of the learning centers that is at your site. Other than the learning centers, there is unfortunately no childcare available for us. All right. Seeing nothing else. If there are any other comments, you can put them into chat, and otherwise you please email me. I'm going out to all the site. I personally have been to every single school site multiple times in the last month and a half, and I'm doing my best to ensure and check that all of these PPE and safety measures have been put in place.
Hey, Josh,
Yes.
whatever happens with the 6.5 hour, like, as far as full time or part time?
That will be brought up in our as we reopen.
Oh, okay.
What exactly did you fight for on our behalf?
Mm, 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 mm.
Well, I have been fighting to make sure that no one was laid off, that no hours were cut, as we have had a year with no students. There have been many districts that are able to cut hours down to even 1 hour a day, even for protected classifications, including custodial, nutritional services, and transportation. We did not have those in our district. We continued to be paid. We continued to have our jobs. I absolutely fought for our hazard pay. But the district said no. There's been no COVID training for working with SDC children, as they do not keep masks on and have behaviors that require to be touched. Okay, I will absolutely. What about those of us with compromised immune systems? Unfortunately, we are required to work and to come into work. And I understand my mom has a compromised immune system as well, and I understand the impact of that. We're working with we're working in an unprecedented era, and I can say, do your best to don't do your best. Always make sure you have your PPE, wear your gloves. I'm sorry, I'm reading this. The district made any plans about how they will be utilizing the additional funding provided from the state for increased instructional assistance. They have not as of right now. I know this is something that is ongoing. I don't have any specific information yet. I do know that there is that funding, and I am making sure that I pay attention to that. I believe we're going to be increasing that for next year as well. But as of right now, there is not a plan set in place. I know we're working on hiring many substitutes, as well as trying to have enough IAs and to cover our classes, our learning centers, as we move forward with more students and as they're added. All right, so I know this is definitely a tough time, but please, yeah, Louis.
Yes, regarding that one question about what about those that have compromised immune systems? In the MOU under the 13th agreement concerning the wearing of masks, would that also apply to people with questions or concerns about their immune system, is to approach human resources and proceed with the ADA interaction process?
Yes, and we're working with benefits as well with Aaron Fleming. I know there's the AB, I believe it's 95, which provides 2 weeks. I know it's 10 days, which is prorated for your number of hours. That is for those, and we also have our Tom. I'm sorry, we were talking about this earlier. Our disability as well.
Yeah, the standard.
The standard, and that's something to look into as well. Shouldn't we be notified of COVID cases at our work sites? To my knowledge, through gossip and rumors, there have been 4 cases in my building, yet we haven't been notified by any of them. HR hides behind HIPAA. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't need to know if Mary or Johnny got sick. I just need to know that someone in the building was sick. So the cases are cases are supposed to be told if you're in that same building. Yeah, Tom.
I was just gonna say, I've been exposed twice, and basically it's Jackie Carvajal gives you a call. She says that on this particular date between these hours, you were with someone in a room for more than 15 minutes. I figured it out in seconds, but that's the idea, is that I was exposed, and she just said, you are on quarantine for the next 10 days. I don't know if it's 10 or 7 now, but it's that's why that when everybody goes through the central entrance point and their temperature is taken, a lot of that will be mitigated right there at the front door. It won't really go further. I mean, it could happen, but that really mitigates most of the risk. If you have a temperature or at all, you won't be allowed in to expose anyone
I think
else.
that stuff comes done too, because when you can smell it, it's done.
Right. Why are we not having the option to work from home? Like, I'm sorry, I missed one. Would love to actually take protective gear, gloves, better masks, things that we need to be, as you say, frontline work is essential and safe. Please email me if you are not seeing these PPE. They've been delivered to sites. I would love to be able to make sure that you get them. If you haven't, email me. Why are we not having the option to work from home like the teachers, especially those with daycare issues and immune system compromised? The teachers, trying to think how to word this, so when the district decided the new plan for opening for 4th quarter, there were 3 main things that they wanted to make sure happened, and one of those being that the students were not I'm trying to think of the words, I'm sorry, that the students were kept as consistent as possible with what was going on, and with a limited number, with only certain people that certain parents that elected to have their students come back to the sites, it would mean that many of our students would have to, during the 4th quarter, lose out on having their same teacher. So you'd have students who had their teacher for 3 quarters and then come into a 4th quarter with a completely different teacher. And so in order to do that, they decided to open the learning centers, which meant that the teachers were going to be teaching virtually. And that is why they had to continue with that, because they didn't want to disrupt the learning for the 4th quarter. And unfortunately, because we were called back to work, we have to come back to work. The district has a team of people that are in charge of contact tracing. You should be notified if you are at risk from someone at your site. Thank you, Amy. Okay, I know I haven't answered all the questions. I would appreciate on-site training with maps for full PPE stations made clear. On-site training is for donning, doffing, putting on and off full PPE. I've worked in some health with COVID positive patients at the beginning of the pandemic, and learning how to put PPE on and off should be taught in person and tested in person. I do not believe that online training is sufficient for keeping our staff safe. Okay, I'm going to add this to my list. And can you please describe what type of mask we essential workers can get? They're supposed to be cloth masks that have been distributed, as well as the paper masks that should have been distributed at all the sites. Our quarantine days, paid time off, and if so, how many days if exposed more than once? All right. So I'm sorry, if you are required to quarantine because you were exposed at work, that is paid for by the district. it's considered workers' comp. It does not come out of your leaves if you are required to quarantine due to a case that has happened at one of your sites, if you've been exposed at one of the sites. Everyone should be wearing N95s according to respiratory precautions. That is, CDC is constantly changing. And one of the things is that CDC is no longer saying that N95s are the best for everyone. And so this, they're saying simply a cloth mask is what we need. Have the ventilation problems at the high schools been addressed? Yes, I know that the HVAC has been out to all of the sites and have addressed those problems and are continuing to update, especially if any rooms have been added. I know you'll see we're at a site and there's a learning center and we have extra students where an extra classroom has to be open. Those are immediately being addressed and making sure that the MERV 13s are set and our ventilation is good. They have been fixed, to my knowledge. They have been fixed. I will absolutely make sure 100%, and I will email you tomorrow. But I am very certain that they have been fixed. But I'll make sure just so that I can email you and let you know.
Can I ask? I know you can't ask. The member may not be able to respond. When you say fixed, do they know? Are they talking about equipment that's not working, or are they talking about filters that have been upgraded that you've already alluded to? So if there's a room with no air movement, then the work order needs to be turned in. But if they're talking about has the filtration been improved, yes. The learning centers were the first priority, and then they're spreading it out to even the other rooms that are not going to be occupied. They're changing out all the filters. So the priority was the learning center classrooms throughout the district, and then they're spreading it out to all of them. So I'm not sure if the question.
It says filtration.
Okay, well, that would be I would consider that the filters, and yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I will be sending an email directly after this meeting with the tentative agreements attached, as well as the information on where to vote and the information for nominations for conference. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
Hey. Yes.
Chris Colcord, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, Jamie seconds. All right, thank you. Meeting is adjourned.